Hello and welcome to a Christmas Hangover dose of Dude's comic book goodness. I'm Jason and this is my weekly video where I review the books that I've picked up, usually review the latest episode of Arrow and share with you some of the good stuff that I've found in comics this week. This week's going to be a bit different. I've only got 4 books to review, so that's going to be very quick. There's no Arrow review because we're not getting a new episode of Arrow here in the UK until February. So because at the time of recording it is New Year's Eve, so I decided what I'm going to do this week, instead of doing the Arrow review, I'm going to do my comic book related New Year's resolutions. Those things I want to do a bit different or a bit better, comic book related in the new year. So that's going to replace the Arrow review this week. And then of course in good stuff I'm going to share with you the haul of books that I picked up today, as well as the stuff I got over Christmas. That's the main thing there, so hopefully this shouldn't run too long. Before I go any further, I would like to apologise for the picture quality. My camera isn't the best, and in the daytime you get a decent picture, but I'm recording this in the evening, so it seems to go all crazy in the evening, even though you wouldn't believe it, but there's a light right above me. You might be able to see the shine on my head. No, it's not the reflection of my halo, it is my bald spot on the light. So yeah, so the camera isn't very good. I am looking into getting a new webcam. Hopefully, I'm trying to price them up right now. So if anyone out there knows of a good webcam to kind of get that works well with making YouTube videos, please, put in the comments below or message me, because I think I really do need to invest in a new cam. Anywho, that's that done. So we're going to kick this bad boy off with some reviews. Just 4 books this week, 1 from Marvel, 1 from Image, and 2 from DC. So without further ado, let's get to those reviews. First up this week we have Avengers issue number 24 from Marvel Comics. This kicks off a brand new story arc and is the first book from the new range of Marvel Now books. I previously dropped this book because I wasn't enjoying what Hickman was doing. The actual story he was telling was good, but there weren't enough Avengers for me. I decided, because there were only 3 other books out this week, I would give this one a go. And I'm glad I did. This really delivered everything I wanted from an Avengers book. The basic premise of the story is that this planet is going to collide with Earth. Somebody from the future comes to warn the Avengers what's going to happen, and the Avengers have to build some machine that will hopefully save the Earth and save this other planet as well. Like I say, it delivered everything I wanted. There were some great character moments in this. They had a barbecue, which, like I say, provided some great character moments. Some great interactions between Iron Man and Captain America. There's some great foreshadowing of things that may happen in the future, which I really liked. The book left you really kind of like wondering where things are going to go, as there are a number of things that are left dangling for you. And you're kind of wondering what's that about. It makes you curious to come back and to see how this is all going to play out. Also, it does make you kind of want to go back and reread some of the stuff, and I think that's a really great achievement for Jonathan Hickman. The way that he's written this book is that you can enjoy it as a one-off tale. It gives you a one-and-done story. So if you were kind of curious to try it out, you could. To kind of see if it's your bag, you could, because it's a one-and-done story. But for me personally, it left me wanting to see what happens in the future and what happened before. So yeah, I think a very well written issue. The art, despite on the cover it's saying Esad Ribic on the cover, there are 4 artists on the book. As you can see from the inside, there were 4 artists. It was 1 artist too many for me. The art does kind of fall down a bit in one section. I don't know which artist that was, but yeah, it was too many artists, and that was the one bit that really took me out of the story. As always with Hickman's books, some of the science is a bit complicated, made me have to read it a couple of times, which isn't necessarily a bad thing, but if you're wanting something that's light to read, this is not the book, because there is, as always, some heavy duty science, or maybe it's more to do with my brontosaurus sized brain, I don't know, but I always find these what I say always, I never have this problem when I read Manhattan Projects. I always follow that book, no problem. But certainly when I read some of his superhero stuff and the science he puts in, I do find I have to read it a second time to really grasp everything. But yeah, all in all, in my conclusion, this book delivered for me. I really enjoyed it. It was a really pleasant surprise. Yeah, it was one artist too many on the book. Some of the science is a bit complicated, but it sets things up lovely for the future, and I give Avengers issue number 24 4 stars. So next up we have The Saviours issue number 1, a new book out this week from Image, written by James Robertson with art by Jay Bone. I really enjoyed James Robinson's run on Earth 2, so I was really interested to see what his indie stuff was going to be like. This story, the basic premise is this ordinary guy called Thomas Ramirez, works on a gas station, likes to get high, discovers an alien, and then his life goes to hell. That is your basic premise. It's a story that's been done many times before, but what I really liked about this spin on it is that our central character is happy with his life. He doesn't dream of being somebody important. He isn't looking for redemption. He's happy with his lot in life. He works in a small town where everybody knows everybody. He gets high in between pumping gas, and he goes out drinking with his mates and has a lot of fun. So he's happy with his lot in life. He isn't really looking for more. So, and I like that so many times in these stories you have a characters that are looking for something in their life, but with this character you're not. But then his life gets thrown upside down. I like the structure of the story, how we're introduced to the character and his life. It reminded me very much of the first issue of Snapshot, where we introduced to the main character, and then we have this sequence of events, and his life goes to hell, which very much is what happens here. First half of the book is a bit slow paced, but it's introducing stuff, and I found it interesting. But the second half of the book, you get some twists, and it really starts picking up pace the second half, and it really ends the book strongly. The art is black and white, which wasn't really a bad thing. I thought the art worked well with the story, and very much like Walking Dead. Once you've read the book in black and white, you've just got so used to it, it isn't an issue. And I think it actually worked well with the story. So all in all, in conclusion, I enjoyed this one. I really like the main character. I really liked the structure of the first issue, and I'm really looking forward to seeing where our main character is going to go in future issues. And I give The Saviours issue number 1 5 stars. So next up we have Justice League issue number 26, which is another Forever Evil tie-in. And this continues to be the perfect tie-in to Forever Evil. If you're really enjoying Forever Evil, this is definitely the tie-in you need to be reading, as it's really fleshing out the characters of the crime syndicate. This issue we get the origin story of Pararing, Deathstorm, Johnny Quick, and Atomica. All the stories are kind of linked together by the Grid, who is trying to feel emotion. He's trying to feel emotion. We find the reason that he broke away from Cyborg was because he felt Cyborg was holding him back from experiencing emotion. But yet, even though he's broken free of Cyborg now, he still can't feel emotion. So he's looking back at these characters' histories to try and see if it invokes some kind of emotional reaction. And what we get then are each of the characters' origin stories, which once again really flesh out the characters. And what I liked is how there are like elements of like their regular their opposites regular origin is in there, but then there's some kind of twist in that that I really enjoyed and I really liked. And like I say, I was enjoying this book a lot. I really did. Once again, we have on this issue we have 4 I think it was 4 inkers and 3 colorists, which is just insane. The only thing that makes it work okay kind of for this issue is because we've got the 3 different origin stories, so the art doesn't really have to be consistent all the way through. you know, the same. You can colour it and make it look different for each bit, and it works. So it didn't hurt the art, luckily, but it's still, I don't understand why this book always has, this book and some of the other Justice League books have so many colorists and inkers. It's just insane. But yeah, I like I say, I liked how the stories were tied together. In conclusion, I would just like to say that I think this has been the perfect tie-in. Once again, I really enjoyed it because it fleshes out the characters. I think if you're loving Forever Evil, you'll love this book, as it's what a tie-in should be. And I give Justice League issue number 26 5 stars. And finally this week we have Forever Evil issue number 4 of 7, DC's big event. The story itself is feeling a bit slow, but the events in the book are moving forward constantly. So, you know, I think my conclusion I've come to is I think Marvel are bringing out their events so quickly. You know, you have like their books will come out like weekly or twice a month, and so it gives you the impression that their books are moving quicker. And where this book, you look at the events in it, they're constantly moving forward. So, you know, I think it's not that, it's just the way Marvel release theirs. I do applaud DC for bringing it out once a month. I think I much prefer these kind of books that way. It's not as much on the old wallet. So, you know, I do applaud DC for going that way. And though there are benefits and weaknesses in both methods, but I do applaud DC for going monthly with this event. This issue very much deals more with Batman and Luthor than it does with the crime syndicate. We have Lex Luthor and his gang doing what they're doing, and we have Batman and Catwoman, and they're all kind of heading to the same place, as they've kind of reached the same conclusion. There were some great moments and banter between Batman and Catwoman. And there's a nice moment between Lex Luthor and Bizarro, where we see Bizarro get his name, which I really like. It's about a very un-Luthor kind of moment, but it was still a nice moment all the same. I'm really liking David Finch's art. He's really toned it back. Sometimes his characters can look like they're on steroids, and while I like my heroes larger than life, I don't want to see them overly roided up. But he's really toned it back here, and I think this is some of his best art in a while, as I think Finch is doing a really top-notch job. Still really enjoying this story. I think this event has been very enjoyable. I'm looking forward to reading it as collected, because I think it's going to be a very different story. You'll see then that the story isn't slow, that it is moving forward, and it's just the release schedule that makes it feel slow. But all in all, I'm still really enjoying this book, and I give issue number 4 of Forever Evil 5 stars. Well, means there's no new episode of Arrow to review this week. We're going to do my comic book related New Year's resolutions. These are the things that I want to do in the next year that are comic book related. The first few are kind of related to YouTube and to the YouTube comic book community. I know one thing I want to get better on is replying to comments. You know, I think if somebody's taken the time to give an opinion on having watched my video, I think the least I can do is respond to that. I don't always know what to put, but that's no excuse. I should find something, even if it's just a thank you. So yeah, that's something I definitely want to improve at in the new year, is leaving comments to people's comments. And the other thing that I want to do is there are a lot of really great people here in the YouTube comic book community. You know, I've seen this community kind of really grow, and there's many different corners of it now. And the corner that I've kind of settled in is the kind of Facebook group, and there are a lot of great people there. And I want to interact a lot more with people in the new year. You know, some of the great people I've already interacted with are people like Gambit896, Matt and Comics, Stephen McNee, Michael Moore, Sleepy Reader, David vs. Raccoonus, BA Comics, JC CG, My Butter One, Liam Kennedy, Will Sullivan, and Stacey Gallagher are just a few of the people that I've interacted with so far. And you know, I want to interact more. When I watch their videos, if they do videos, when I watch the videos, I want to leave more comments on their videos. I also, yeah, just in general want to interact with them more on the Facebook thing as well. That's something I want to do. Take some of these great people that probably, think of me as an acquaintance, and hopefully this time next year they might think of me as a friend, or at the very least an annoyance. The other thing I would really love to do this year is a hangout video. I think that would be really cool. It'd be really challenging for me. I have the real fear, like, what if they're talking about something I don't know about, and I'm going to sit there like a muppet? Yeah, except maybe not as entertaining as a muppet would be. So yeah, I am nervous about doing that, but it's also something that I'd really like to try, because it looks a lot of fun. So yeah, definitely some point in the new year, do a hangout video. Away from the YouTube comic book community, the other thing that I'm going to do this year is, when it comes to my comic book collecting, I've kind of cut down my books, so that I'm only getting books now where they're books that I want to support, or they're books that I've always collected, and anything else I will buy in trade. Hopefully the money that I'll save I can put into plug in bits of my collection, and next year I've decided the 3 books I'm going to concentrate on are going to be Green Arrow, the Mike Rule run of Green Arrow. I want to complete that. I also want to complete and plug any gaps in my 80s Avengers comics. That's another gap. I've got none of the annuals either, so I think I'm going to go back and look at getting some of the annuals as well from the 80s. So that's going to be that. And the other one is something BA Comics did last year, and that's get Spider-Man 600 to 700. I want to complete that run. It's going to be, they're going to be tough things. It isn't going to be something that's going to be done overnight. It's going to be a bit here, a bit there, and hopefully I'll share them hauls with you in the good stuff section of this video. But hopefully as the year goes by, I'll be able to go along with that. So yeah, there are my New Year's resolutions. I will review these resolutions this time next year to see how I did with them. Or please, if you've got any comic book related New Year's resolutions, please comments down below. Feel free to put them in there. I'd love to see if any of you have got them, and if you have, what they are. So that's my New Year's resolutions. Well, welcome. We've reached that time of the video where we come to the good stuff. Today I'm going to share with you some of the stuff I've got over Christmas. Not to show off, but some of it I might do reviews of in the future, so I thought I'd just preview that. And also, being New Year's Eve, I've been today, picked up my new comics, so you'll see the books that I will be reviewing next week. First things first, I got on DVD The Man of Steel. I'm looking forward to rewatching that. I'm going to do, probably because we've got no Arrow reviews till February, some of these DVDs I got I will be reviewing, so in the future. With that, I got this as well. My mother bought me that, and it came with this little comic book, which is really cool. So I'll probably have a read of that and review it the same time. Review them. Oh, sorry, wrong way. Review them together. Then we have Iron Man 3. So I will be reviewing that one as well when I watch that. And the other one is Star Trek Into Darkness, which I know a lot of people didn't like, but I really enjoyed this one, and I think I will be doing a review. Well, I say I will, I don't know, because strictly speaking it isn't comic book, but I may do a review of that, we will see. Another thing I picked up today, I got this like cool calendar. Forbidden Planet. I picked this up, and they said it was free, so I was like, yeah, I'll have that. When I get my man cave sorted out in the new year, I will be putting this up there, so expect to see that. It's got all like different comic book pics, but yeah, considering it costs nothing, brilliant. The books I picked up this week, we have got Justice League Dark, issue number 26. Really enjoying Justice League Dark. The Blight storyline so far has kind of been up and down, but mainly has been good. It is going to go on until March, which is a bit long, with the amount of books a month that they're going to devote to this story. I don't know how they're going to keep it going, because already it's beginning to feel a bit stretched, so be interested to see where they go with that. We then have The Flash, issue number 26, which I'm a bit concerned about. Manapul and Bolsonaro have left the book, they're not on it anymore, and so far I have not heard of a regular team being announced for this book, and I'm really worried because this has been one of my favourite books in the New 52, and it just seems now like DC don't really care about it, and I think it's short-sighted with the TV show coming on in the new year. I think in the new year they're going to do a spin-off show from Green Arrow with The Flash, so I think it's really short-sighted of them not to keep this book up there and strong, and put a strong creative team on it. So yeah, I'm a bit worried about that at the moment, but we'll see what that's like. Jumping over to Image now, we have Clone, issue number 13. Bloody loving this book. Every single issue is brilliant. My comic shop, this was the only copy they had. I was so lucky that I went there early today and got this. It just doesn't seem to be a book that's resonating a lot, but just every month is so consistent and so great. Really worth checking out, Clone. We then have The Manhattan Projects, which I'm enjoying, another Jonathan Hickman book. Yeah, so I'm really enjoying that one. And finally we have Rocket Girl, which I totally loved issue 2 of this. So hopefully issue 3 can be just as good as issue 2. And finally, from a new books this week, we have Savage Wolverine. This will be my last issue of Savage Wolverine. I recently signed up to Marvel Unlimited, so I'm going to try that out, see what that's like. You can read like books from 8 months ago, going all the way back through their catalogue, and so it's a really great way of reading a lot of their older stuff. So I'm really looking forward to trying that out. But if that works out, then I can read Savage Wolverine through that. You know, I can wait 8 months to read this, so that may be the last issue of that I buy. A couple of back issues that I picked up were Avengers issue number, a very dark cover there, Avengers issue number 22 and Avengers issue number 23. That completes my entire run of the current Avengers title. So yeah, that's the good stuff this week. The reviews on those books, I won't be reviewing the 2 Avengers books, but the other books, they will be up probably some point around the weekend. Future weeks as well, expect to see reviews of the DVDs I got for Christmas. All in all, I just want to wish you all, I hope you all enjoy your New Year's celebrations. I wish you all a very happy New Year. Maybe be a happy and prosperous one for you all. Leaves me to say thank you very much for watching this video. I've been Jason. This has been Dude's Comic Book Goodness. Bye for now.